Everyone talks about fair value gaps, but nobody actually teaches you how to use them and how to identify them. Today I'll show you how to actually do that. So fair value gaps are really easy to find. What you're looking for is 3 candle pattern. So 1, 2, and 3. The space between first candle's wick and third candle's wick is your fair value gap. Why do we even mark it out? Because when price comes back into it, there's a high possibility that it might take off or reverse and go lower. It's basically a space where orders didn't get filled properly, so price usually makes a fair value gap, it comes back to it, and then makes a reaction once it balanced out that price. Also, synonym for fair value gaps is imbalance. So just look at it as an imbalance. So imbalance. So once market makes imbalance, it needs to be balanced. And that's why price usually comes back to your fair value gaps and then takes off or makes reaction in the other way. Same with here. We had a fair value gap, boom, came back into it, and then we pushed up. We have two types of fair value gaps. We got standard fair value gap slash FVG and inverse fair value gap slash EFVG. So what is the difference between fair value gap and inverse fair value gap? I'm gonna show you the quick example with this thingy right here. So what is the difference between fair value gap and inverse fair value gap? So first of all, fair value gaps, price usually does this. Alright, so you got your fair value gap right here. And I'm gonna do this. So price came, made the fair value gap, price comes back into it and goes higher. What is an inverse fair value gap? So that is FVG, fair value gap. Remember that term. Then inverse fair value gap. We made the gap, but when we were going downwards, we actually closed below it, came back into it, and went downwards. And that is your inverse fair value gap. So that is the only difference between fair value gap and inverse fair value gap. As soon as price doesn't respect your fair value gap, it becomes inverse fair value gap, as in this example. So we made the fair value gap, went down, closed below it, went back into it, and that's your inverse fair value gap. This example right here is actually really good because it showcases both fair value gap and inverse fair value gap at their best. So as you can see, we got this. So this is our normal imbalance, or you may call it fair value gap. So FVG. What happened? Price made it, back into it, and upwards. But what happened next? Then we went downwards, closed here, retraced back here and back here, and we're going lower. And where are we going? For previous FVG. And why is that? Because price wants to go there. Basically, fair value gaps work like a magnet. When there is disbalance in market, fair value gaps happen. So moves happen fast, and the price didn't actually get to be on that level to decide is it going upward or downward. And that's how fair value gaps are being made. So as you can see right here, we broke out of this fair value gap, retraced off of the previous one. But for anyone that wants to learn how to identify fair value gaps, it's actually pretty easy. I'm gonna show it once again. This right here is your fair value gap. Easy as that. Simplest way to find them, 3 candle pattern. You need to remember there's fair value gap and inverse fair value gap. Know that. And that's everything you need to know about them. Literally, you know how to spot them, you know how to use them, you know what may happen or may not happen. That's it. Also, one more advice, don't just blindly trade off of your fair value gaps. use them as an addition to your strategy. So for example, if I saw fair value gap right here, I wouldn't just blindly enter without any confirmation, without any bias. Just wouldn't do that. It's too risky and it may not pay off. As you can see right here, this was from yesterday. As y'all can see right here, we did made a fair value gap right here, but we didn't make retracement back into it, and that's also normal because not every single fair value gap is going to get filled. Most of them actually won't get filled, and that's the point of it. You need to mark them out and wait for price to come back into it and then see if anything happens. Are you getting reaction off of it, or are we going to make an inverse fair value gap? That's on you. So as I said, what happened here? Went upwards, boom, to here, retraced, and we're dumping. Perfect example of inverse fair value gap. And I think that's it. I think we covered everything. And yeah, guys, you got my free Telegram in bio. If you got any questions, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to be as active as possible on YouTube since I was just getting my business sorted and everything. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and see you in the next video.